Welcome in, Legionnaires. This is Thunder, and I'm bringing you some more casual gamer content. Today we're talking about the 6 available classes for Path of Exile 2, which goes into early access launch on December 6th, this coming Friday. Now, before we go too deep into the classes themselves, just want to put it out there, a little disclaimer. Every single class in Path of Exile 2 has access to every single skill and every single weapon type in the game. So your class that you choose is not as restrictive as you see in some other games, some other action RPGs and RPGs. What your class selection determines is where you start in the massive skill tree and what ascendancies you have available to you. At launch of early access, you'll have 6 classes to choose from. At full launch, you'll have 12. In early access, you'll have a grand total of 12 ascendancies to choose from, 2 per each class. And at total launch, there'll be a grand total of 36 ascendancies. So, without further ado, let's dive right into the classes. Okay, we'll talk first about the Ranger, one of 2 dexterity-focused classes. The Ranger is your archer, bow, ranger archetype. Uses primarily bow, ranged attacks, has access to lightning, some ice, some different skills, but is the standard, typical archer archetype. The 2 ascendancies at early access launch that the Ranger has access to is the Deadeye and the Pathfinder. Deadeye is more of the high accuracy assassin type, whereas Pathfinder focuses a little more on traps and snares and stuff like that. Second, we have the other dexterity focused class, the Mercenary. Also a ranged attacker, however, the Mercenary is like a FPS type class, which is brand new to the Path of Exile IP and brand new to the genre in general. This class focuses on ammo types and ranged attacks. There's also some minion specking that's kind of speculative right now that they might have, but this is kind of a very unique class because of the ranged rapid fire abilities it has. For ascendancies, the Mercenary has access to the Gem Legionnaire, cool naming convention, which focuses on skill development and additional skill slots. And then the second class ascendancy that the Mercenary has is the Witch Hunter, which focuses more on like bossing and stuff like that. Okay, next we've got a staple in the genre and in role-playing games in general, the Sorceress. This is your standard spellcaster class. It is the first of 2 classes that focus on intelligence as their main stat. This is the standard archetypal mage. It's got access to fire, ice, lightning, spells, combinations of all of them. What's really cool about the sorcerer and all the classes in general is how the skills interact. So for example, with the sorcerer, throw up a firewall, cast an electric bolt through it. The electric bolt becomes inflamed with lightning and fire and has some kind of additive or multiplicative damage. So that's your standard spellcaster. For the sorcerers, 2 ascendancies they get to choose from. They have the Stormweaver, so a very standard, typical elementalist type of mage, and then the Chronomancer, a manipulator of time. There's a skill in the game that enables you to kind of freeze time, which is, we're not exactly sure how it's going to play out anytime you're doing co-op, but for the time being, it seems like at the very least it'll be a mass stun or a hard CC for a lot of mobs. Okay, up next we've got another intelligence-focused class, the Witch. Now, me personally, this is the class that I'm most excited for. It is the stereotypical minion build. You can almost kind of think Necromancer without it being super thematically Necromancer style, but this is your minion class. The class focuses on summons using the new Spirit resource, as well as being able to summon from corpses that you've slain on the battlefield. Super cool. For ascendancies, the class has access to the Blood Mage, which has like a life steal, life give mechanic, and then also has the Infernalist, which is like a fire hellhound minion build. There isn't a dedicated Necromancer ascendancy as of yet, but I highly suspect the 3rd unnamed ascendancy will probably be a very much more Necromancer themed and styled ascendancy. Okay, next up we've got one of 2 classes that focuses on strength, the Warrior. It's your standard it's your stereotypical class that focuses on melee, totes a heavy axe, warhammer, mace, or sword and shield. A lot of fire damage, a lot of shouts, a lot of aggro, whether you're doing DPS or you're tanking, but this is the class you want to pick if you're just a brawler and you want to be up in face in the action, slamming shit. The 2 ascendancies for the Warrior are the Warbringer and the Titan, which one focuses a little more on tanking, the other one focuses a little more on aggro and doing some serious damage in AoEs. Okay, last but certainly not least, we've got the Monk class, the second class that focuses on strength with really high emphasis on fast attack speeds. The Monk, surprisingly, was the class that had the highest satisfaction rate during most of the beta testing, and this is the class you're going to want to choose if you like fast dashes, high attack speed, rapid fire hits. The class ascendancies for the Monk are pretty interesting. They can spec into either the Invoker or the Acolyte of Chayun. Not exactly sure thematically where GGG is going with those two ascendancies, but one of them is focused a little more on sustain, and the other one, the Acolyte, is focused on accepting the darkness and accepting debuffs in exchange for powerful damage output. So really, really interesting class choice there. Okay, that about wraps it up for our rapid fire overview of the classes. At the end of the day, just pick the class you think you're gonna have the most fun with. I'm personally gonna start with the Witch. I want to try the minion build and kind of experiment around with that a little bit and see how the spirit system works and how having minions kind of accumulates. Is it going to be kind of rough having minions going into a boss fight? Are they underpowered? Are they overpowered? How many minions can I actually have at one time based on spawns and corpses? But at the end of the day, just pick the class you're going to have the most fun with. They're not as restrictive as other games, and you can always try something new if you don't like it. So I hope you found something interesting in this one, and I cannot wait to see you there when Path of Exile 2 launches. We're doing a live stream on the day, December 6th. We're doing a early access key giveaway, sub gifts giveaway. We're doing a follow-thon, so it's going to be awesome. I'm super, super excited. Cannot wait to get my hands on this game. I hope you're excited for it too, and we will catch you on the next one.